Hey everyone! It's so good to be back, and I had a great holiday vacation, but I'm ready to get started making videos again, so here's the next installment. I left off teaching you guys some of the new tips I learned at my Mac Pro seminar, so I'm going to go ahead and continue on with the next face they taught me, which was the Flawless Foundation Face. So what I'm going to be using for this tutorial is my Beauty Blender sponge, some foundation, and then I'm going to be using my my blush and my highlighter, my concealer, and I'm going to be using a darker shade of powder and my regular shade of powder. So let's go ahead and get started. The first step that you're going to do is, of course, start with a clean face. And next, I'm going to take my Makeup Forever foundation and just apply a small pea-sized amount to my hand. And I'm going to take my Beauty Blender and just dab it in and absorb up that foundation. And then I'm going to use my Beauty Blender and just start patting it on my face. Now the Beauty Blender is really nice because this sponge, it's really popular among makeup artists and celebrities, and it's just popular because it's so good at giving you a nice, smooth, almost airbrush look to your foundation. So I always start with my areas I want the most coverage on, which is my cheeks and my nose, and then I'll blend out to my chin and then up into my forehead. And this way you won't get that weird line of demarcation where it's obvious where your foundation ends and your natural skin color is. So I'm just going to go ahead and do that a few times, and then we'll move on to concealer. Just a little more. Okay, now I'm going to take my concealer and I'm just going to apply it directly to my under eyes and then go ahead and blend it in with my Beauty Blender. So I'm just going to take a swipe under here and kind of bring it down in a triangle shape. And same on the other side, bring it down in a triangle shape. And then I'll take my Beauty Blender and I'm going to use the pointed end now, which can get a little closer to the eye area, and just go ahead and blend that in. I'm going to get right around my nose. Alright, the next step, I'm going to use my fluffy brush and apply my loose powder, and apply my pressed powder oh my gosh, I can't talk. Next step, I'm going to take my fluffy brush and apply my pressed powder over to my, okay, let me try that one more time. The next step, I'm going to take my fluffy brush and apply my pressed powder over my entire face. And I'm using MAC NC20, NW20. And once again, I'm going to start at my cheeks and then blend out to the rest of the face. And I'm working in a circular motion. And just sort of buffing that in. Okay, from here we're going to go on to a little more of the contouring and highlighting to get that flawless look. And now I'm going to use my darker pressed powder for my contouring. And that's because you don't want to have a real bronzy look, especially in the winter, but you still want to give that shadow that naturally is cast under your cheekbones and a little bit right here above your eyebrow. When you apply foundation, you eliminate that shadow, you just give your face one wash of color. So by adding a darker color, you start creating some more dimension in your cheekbones and your bone structure overall. So I'm just going to go ahead and pat that on right underneath my cheekbone, just to give a little bit of shadow right there. going to take some on this side and do the same thing. And this is one step that I hardly ever miss doing on my face. Even if I don't have concealer on or foundation, I almost always contour because it's definitely the most flattering thing you can do for your face. And I like to go right here above my eyebrow, and then I'll go all the way up into my hairline because you can see I have a pretty high forehead. So I'll go ahead and bring that all the way up. And that just creates more of a shadow, making your forehead not look quite so large. Okay, our contouring is done, so let's go ahead and move on to our blush. And the blush style they recommended, kind of the current trend for blush, is to just apply it right here to the apples of your cheeks and then kind of blend out just a little bit. The old style of giving blush this really sharp line like this without any contouring but just a really heavy blush line is definitely over with. And if you look at movie stars, following their makeup trends, they tend to stay on top of them. You can see like Jennifer Aniston, she always has a really rosy cheek right here. She's one to look at. She always has really good makeup. Same with J-Lo. Why can't I think of her name? Anyways. It's always a good place to start when you're looking for what's the most current for makeup. Usually the most popular actresses and performing artists tend to have the most current makeup looks. Okay, so now I have my blush on, and our last step to our flawless face is applying our highlighter. So I'm just going to use my shimmery cream color base, and I'm taking my brush, and then I'm just going to apply it on right on top of my cheekbone, all the way up in kind of a crescent moon shape. And go ahead, and I like to highlight the top of my nose, so you can get right above your lip, right here. That gives a little bit of an illusion of fullness, and then you can even just get right here underneath your eyebrow. Just get a little bit of highlight right there. And you're done. That's your flawless face. It's really easy to accomplish. And yes, it is a lot of steps. It's not something you have to do every day, but if you're getting dressed up and want to look good, this is a good regimen to follow. So thanks so much for watching, and I hope you were able to follow this tutorial. Good luck with making it your own.